I would like to welcome y'all to a first episode of my video short series called Vybez Shortz, a conversation. And I'd like to welcome my first ever guest, Lou Madden. I love you, Lou. Thank you so much for being here. This is dope. I'm doing a video series because I feel like people in this time just need some information and tools and just hope, really. And I feel like you're one of those people that represent that for me in my life. And you're just dope. You bring dope vibes. And I'm so excited to have you as my first guest because I feel like this is going to be a dope conversation that people are going to enjoy. So I'm happy to have you. Thanks for being here. We're taking a different route, a different format to Vybez because, clearly I can't go out and interview people. So the video chat series came up, and I think it's a brilliant idea for Vybez, and we're rolling in this direction now. So I'm just excited to be on this with you and to connect.
Hey. Thank you so much.
Welcome. I'm going to just share a little bit about how I met you. I'm not even sure how we met. I think we've just been around in the same circle for like a while, right? Like the last few years.
Yeah.
Like I know Monique Benaboo, and you know Mo, and I think I met her through you at some point at some event somewhere.
Yeah. Well, and we did a workshop together too.
Yeah, and then we did the bridge together, and I think that's how I got to know you even more. So, yeah, so we've been around. We've been around in the tribe doing the damn thing. So, but what I do know of you is that, like I said before, I feel like you just bring this special energy, special light, a special vibe that like is just unique to who you are, and you're just this light that just you light up a room when you walk into it, and I just finished your Social with Soul, which is a dope program, by the way. Go be in that. I'm not sure if you're gonna have it again, but we'll touch on that in a little bit. But just even through just your program and being in it, I was like, I got to know you so much more, and you're even more of a light, and there's no words to explain you. People just dig you, and you do what you do, and you do it very well. And I'm about you, Lou. I'm about you.
I'm like blushing. I'm like getting hot. I'm like, like. So,
but yeah, I'm just sharing, my truth about you, and that's why you're here. I freaking love your energy, and I love what you're about. But for people who don't know who you are, can you share a little bit about who you are and what you do, please?
Yeah, thank you so much for the intro. I was like, you my hype girl right now.
Yeah.
And you have such a beautiful gift of like seeing people and expressing that, gratitude and the light that you see, which is truly a reflection of you as well. So, but yeah, anyway, to share about me, gosh, what part should I share? No, I think, the core of who I am, obviously what we do in the world is always evolving. I'm definitely on a path of always trying to show up in the world and provide the most service, the most light, really give people, kind of like show the way to the experience that everyone can live a life of like joy, of happiness, of, positive outlook. They can feel energized and excited about life. And I think that I've always had this like outlook. Like I remember being being a little girl, and like my family making comments like, oh, Laura always, sees the good in people, or Laura's always happy, or, I wish I could have her attitude. And to me, I thought that there was something like off or wrong with that. Like, oh, am I ignorant? Should I not be this way? But at the same time, like, we truly, as human beings, always have an opportunity to live a life that feels good.
Mm-hmm.
And with that mentality of wanting to contribute and, show up in the world in that way and serve as that for other people, my path has taken many different routes, from being a health coach to supporting people in personal development world, which is how you and I met. And from a business perspective, also supporting people through social media and really bringing people who want to create impact in the world, helping them bring their business and their brand online in a way that feels really good. It feels authentic, supports them from a business perspective as well. So that is what I'm currently up to. And yeah, I'm excited. Uncertainty that's occurring. But yeah, that's what I'm up to right now.
Yeah. But yeah, as I said, I got a chance to from the your branding marketing strategist hat. I got a chance to be in your program and to see your gifts and what you do and what you offer. And I said, to me, that was like next level. I was like, whoa, like you, and this the way you channel, even like you channel things and you have a gift like no other that I've experienced in being in this type of program. Not I've been in many, but but yeah, even on our one-on-ones, I'm like, whoa, that's a great idea. I didn't even think of that. You know, just you got a gift. I feel like you're a genius, and more people need to be a part of your program whenever you have again.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. I know it was fun. It was so fun to have you in there too, because I was telling people, and just like behind the scenes, like I was telling Peta, I was like, "You're so freaking dope." It's like it's just, and that's the thing is, I think so many people, it's hard for us to see ourselves a lot of times.
Yeah.
Even myself, like as a strategist, it's different doing it for myself because the ego comes in, the fear, the limiting beliefs, the stories, the questioning, like all of it comes through.
Yeah.
And at the same time, it's like, sometimes we just need that nudge or vision with somebody who sees our vision and just kind of walk right behind, right beside us.
Yes. And you've also, done social media for like Alexi and Preston and all these amazing thought leaders out there. And like, I see your work, you know what I mean? And I'm like, yo, this is dope. That's exactly why I had to be a part of your program. So yeah. So we're going to move on to what brought you to social media, right? I know I've heard a little bit of your story. I'm not keen on the full details of it, but I know you did leave corporate. You used to work in corporate. And but yeah, tell us about that journey, like leaving corporate and moving towards and why social media.
Yeah, oh my gosh, what a journey. I feel like my life so I just hit my 2-year mark in January. So I left corporate in January of 2018. And, I think even in, like, I come from a background, very, very supportive family where it's like, you go to school, you go to college, you get a degree, you get a job, like the whole, structure behind it, which is really supportive for a lot of people. And at the same time, I'm so glad I come from that background. But I knew in college, there was a point where I was like, I actually don't know what I want to do. Like, I finally figured out my major, communication studies, and minor in business. So it kind of makes sense now. But at the time, like, social media was barely around. And I knew that I didn't want to sit at a desk all day. Like, I just knew it wasn't going to be fulfilling for me. And I wanted to create some type of impact in the world. So I didn't know what that looked like. Came out of school, had to get a job. So I went right into market research and then worked in e-commerce and ended up in IT. And there was a point where I think it was like my first 3 months in this new role, which was a corporate position. And I was like, ooh, excited, like, ooh, cool, I'll get the business, feel. And like, ooh, I'm a grown ass woman now. I was like 23, still very young. But what ended up happening is within that first 3 months, it was a real like pit in my stomach, like the bottom of my stomach. It was just like, this like doesn't feel good. And it wasn't anything with the company or the people or anything about that. It was just like, I was being called elsewhere.
Yeah.
Now, for me to translate that into like a next, life decision move.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know what to do. So I actually was there for 5 years. That's when I got involved in health coaching at the time, which led me to personal development, or realizing what that was. I've always had a fascination with people and like studying people, but at that point got deep into personal development, which is where I found two of our mentors and friends, Alexi Panos and Preston Smiles, did some of their work, got into that circle just based on being a student of their work, and had a friend that was working on their website. That person knew I worked in IT, so hit me up and was like, hey, can you help me with this website? I was like, I mean, I'm not like professional. Like, I can do my job here, but I was like, I'm not really like, my brain, I'm not even like a computer person. Like, I don't know how I'm in this role right now. I do it because I learned, but I was like, this ain't my thing. Yeah. And then it was Alexi. Alexi said, she was like, what if Laura helped with social media? Simple admin stuff, you know, just making sure people felt heard and seen, and she didn't miss anything. And like, thank God for this like course of events that unfolded, because that role quickly turned into me creating content for her, which turned into a year and a half later me actually, you know, getting new clients and leaving my full-time job when I realized I can either hustle on the side, because I was still working full-time, and continue to do this, or I can take the leap forward. And, you know, social media for me it's an avenue to get messages out there that people need to hear, that people need to receive, no matter what the vehicle is, whether it's through like, you know, a life coach or a thought leader, whether it's through a nonprofit, or whether it's through a for-profit company, you know, or a media platform like Vybez. I think that it's an incredible tool for us to, one, express ourselves, connect, and create impact in a way that like years ago we never even had the opportunity to do and reach so many people. So I love to rally people around like a cause. And that's why I choose to work with the people that I work with. There's always got to be some type of like positive impact associated with it. So for me, social media is an outlet, another outlet to express one of my soul's highest callings, which is service.
And you do it well. Like that is definitely your calling. Like, you are aligned top to bottom with that, and that's dope. But that brings me to this period in time where a lot of people in corporate have like lost their jobs, and now they get to, you know, they may have even hated their jobs in corporate, and maybe even want to move towards something more aligned with their soul's purpose, whatever the case is. But what advice do you think you can give to people who want to transition from corporate into doing what their soul's been calling them to do, something more aligned with their purpose and their gifts?
Yeah, that's such a good question. 5 years was a long time for me to feel this way. And I didn't have it figured out. And I still don't have it figured out. But like, I look back and I'm like, man, that took a long time to come to this. Like, but what I would suggest to support people through that time period is, if you know you're not aligned with what you're doing on a day-to-day basis when it comes to work, stay close to the things that you love. Stay close to the things that light you up and make you feel alive. And that like give you that fire, that passion throughout the day. And it may not look like a business. It may not look like you trying to figure out how can I capitalize on what I love to create income, like what I used to do, right? Because I was involved. I loved personal development and growth and transformation. So on my lunch breaks, I would actually watch those two on YouTube. I would watch the same videos over and over again, because when I got back to my desk, I was like, all right, we're in this. I'm not crazy.
Yeah.
So I would change my vibe, change my energy, change my vibration, which would affect my attitude, which would affect the experience that I had on a day-to-day basis, even in an environment and at a job that I didn't love. And when I would go to, a workshop. That was because I loved it organically, which led me to meet the people that now I call some of my closest friends and family, which is our collective tribe. So like ultimately I would say follow the breadcrumbs. Even if you're the only one to do it, if you're the only one of your friends to show up or be interested in this, like stay close to the things that make you feel alive. I think the biggest thing to avoid being in that energy and leaving a job, transitioning in that energy, is to just like set up like a 3-month plan for yourself. 3-month plan of like, okay, this is what I have when I'm leaving. This is what I have in month 2. I can take on 1 more client. Or in month 3, I'm going to really, build my own little podcast, or like something to promote yourself even more, like whatever it is. Have just like 3 months. So you feel like, okay, I know what I'm doing. I got my tools in my backpack. I put my backpack on. I'm walking out the door.
Yeah.
And then just don't be afraid to gain support and connect with others who you know are on the path. Like whether it's like creating like a little mastermind with your friends, or finding a mentor that you can lean on and like ask real questions or come to for support, I would say would be the biggest thing too.
Yeah, that's a great share. Thank you. But you said something that stood out to me, and you were saying to like put your backpack on, grab your tools and put your backpack on and go. But I feel like some people, they don't have the tools, right? Like, because that was my excuse for a long time. Like, I don't know how to do Vybez. I don't know how to operate a camera. I don't know how to edit shit. Like, so, it's important for people to know, like, even if you don't have the tools, just go start somewhere. Start, because like that, those things will stop you from starting. Like if you just don't know, because people will always want to know the how to do the thing, and then that will prevent you from getting started and doing the thing. So I feel like for me, once I started somewhere, right, and like, okay, what do I want to do? Oh, let me grab my phone and go get this interview over here. So I started there, and that first show, the production was shitty. Like, you guys can go see the first episode. The production sucked, but I started somewhere, right? And then that's what kept me going. And then the tools would show up, like the right editor and the right camera person and the locations and the people and all of that. So I just wanted to speak to that in case people were like, okay, but I don't have tools, or I don't have this, or I don't have that, or I can't, It's like, it's all just stories and a mindset, and you get to just start. So
that part.
Yeah. Yeah.
That is so real.
Yeah.
That's so real. And what I've noticed, even in just being in this industry where I work with a lot of entrepreneurs, coaches, influencers, one of the biggest differences, I think, in people who like seem successful is it's a 2-part thing. One is they believe in themselves. They believe, they have solid belief that, hey, this is who I am, this is what I'm worth. And that doesn't mean that they don't have doubts. That just means they believe in themselves enough to go for it.
Yeah.
And the second part to that is it all comes down to positioning too. Like, I think we can often get caught up in, oh, but who am I to create a podcast? Who am I to create an offering? Who am I? This happened to me last week. I led an online, you were on it. I led an Instagram live workout. And I was like, I'm not a fitness person. Who am I to?
Yeah. But you killed it. You killed that. And you made that fun. And I didn't work out, but I just enjoyed watching you work out. I was like, get it, Lou. I'm going to sit here and sip on my tea, but get it, right? That's where
and that was the thing, is I wanted it to be a vibe changer. But but like so often the difference is people just position themselves, and they don't wait for other people to say, "Ooh, I choose you to be an influencer. I choose you to be a thought leader." They position themselves to show up. So they're either creating content, they're creating courses. If you get on one podcast, like let's say you have a friend, whoever we're talking to right now, like let's say this person says, okay, well, I never get invited to be on podcasts. I bet you know one person that has a podcast, or you can reach out to somebody that has a podcast, connect with them, even ask, hey, I love this show. I love what you're up to. This is my message. I feel like we'd have a really awesome conversation. Would you be down to do a podcast together?
Yeah.
Or invite them on your Instagram live. Like,
Right.
invite, like, you take the mic and be like, you know what? I know you have a podcast, but listen, I want to introduce you to my audience. You get on one of those shows, somebody is going to see that and they're going to be like, oh, come on my show, come on my show. And it's just like positioning yourself in a way that is like, yeah, I'm either an expert, or I have a lot of experience, or hey, I got something to say.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Whatever it is, like, I think it's like the belief in yourself and then positioning of yourself. Even some of the top influencers, it's just because they show up in a certain way.
Yeah.
But they take the initiative themselves.
Yeah. That's so important. That's so important, because to speak a little bit to that, because like I am the type of person that likes to wait, right? I will wait. Like, okay, I'm gonna just put myself out there and see what happens. Or I used to be that type of person, right?
Yeah.
And then that's why in Social with Soul, like you provided all this wisdom and information in how to like put it yourself out there and get more engagement and connection and all of those things. And a lot of people are waiters. They're just like, let me just see what happens. Oh, let me just put the energy out there and God will work it out. Like, or whoever you believe in, or whatever you believe in, will work it out. The energies that be. And yeah, it's very important for people to, because like once you put yourself out there, the universe, right, will see, because you're being the energy that you want to attract, right? So we get to put ourselves out there. And that was the same, I was telling you before, I was watching an Adam Roa Preston podcast interview, and he was saying the same thing. He was like, people like to wait and they wonder like, why aren't you getting anywhere? Why, like you just said, why am I not being on anybody's podcast? Why is nobody asking me? Because you're not putting yourself out there. Like, where are they going to find you? Like, you're sitting at home, be on my podcast, dude. Like, no. And I also like to speak to that because of that opportunity. Like, I learned that from your social media program, because I wouldn't think of it. I'm like, nobody's asking me to be on a podcast. I'd love to be on a podcast. But you're like, who do you know? Who do you know that you can reach out to that can connect? And it may or may not work out. And I think part of that too is like, I don't want to be rejected. Like, don't say no. Well, right? Well, that's my own shit, of course. But yeah, I just did a podcast yesterday, like my first one. Thank you, Lou.
Hey.
Yeah, and it was dope and it was fun. And I was like, oh my God, I did that. Like, that's cool. You know what I mean? But like, I had put myself into a social media group where it was like podcasts and podcasters and people looking for podcast guests and things like that. So I put myself out there. So thank you for sharing that. I think that's important for people to know at this time. Like, we can't sit around. Like, that shit is not going to come to you if you're going to just sit there and wait.
Yep.
Right? We can do that all day. But yeah.
Oh my God. And I've been a waiter too, like and not entirely.
Yeah.
Well, because I have this perfectionism thing that I've realized I've had to deal with, that can turn into procrastination, because I'm like, well, I got to get this right before I can do that, which I got to get that. And sometimes the things don't even make sense, but it's just like in order. Like, it doesn't have anything to do with, it's like on a basic example, like, I got to clean my room before I can start my work day. And like, yes, that may make a better day or experience for myself, but also like, or I could just go start this project, it's like one thing. So that's something that I've had to battle as well. And I think at the core of that, it comes down to fear. Like, fear can show up in so many different ways that it has us stopping, whether it is perfectionism, we're stopping ourselves or beating ourselves up, or procrastination, we're waiting to do something before it's perfect. Fear of rejection. Well, what if this, it's like, dude, okay, social media, and this is why I call my program Social with Soul, because so much of it actually has to do with the inner work. So much of it is personal transformation as well, because you could even go to someone's profile and see based on like photos, videos, aesthetic, you could kind of see what they want to portray. And sometimes like real basic example, if you see a profile with someone who just doesn't really show their face a lot, you probably know like, oh, maybe they have some type of fear or anxiety around being seen, right? Not to say that that's what it is or that it's better or worse, but like based on my experience of working with people on their personal brands, so much of it, it's so juicy because it's all tied together, because a lot of it has to do with the inner work as well.
Definitely big time. So everyone and their mother is using social media right now. Are you, as a strategist, what do you think are some great tools? Because you've offered some in the program for sure, like that. Some gems I will forever take with me, and it's definitely made my page like dope. So what are some dope tools that people can use right now for social media, and using it more positively for more connection, more meaning, more followers, like just basic tools? Because we get to pay for your work too, but whatever you can offer here. We don't.
Yeah. Oh yeah. We live in an interesting time and an interesting world to begin with. And then you throw social media in the mix and it's like, we're living in a new world than we were, 10, 15 years ago. So, especially in quarantine, the usage of social media has like over doubled just in general by our population, because people are home. They have, we got to stay inside for it right now. And so 2 things. I think one, to create a healthy relationship with it, because even myself working on social media and even managing other people's accounts, I find myself on it quite a bit, and I can get lost in it. Like, stick to my job, but then there comes a point where, we all end up, get on that explore page and 10 minutes, 20 minutes later, you're like, whoa, where am I? What was I just doing?
Yes. What time zone am I in? What's going on?
It's so funny. But like, at the same time, I think one, we get to make light of it, because it's all, we're doing the best with what we have and with the tools that we have. However, if we find that we're in a space where we feel like social media is like we're being a little bit consumed by it, and we don't want to be in it that much, but when we do want to be in it, it's like effective for us.
Yeah.
So one, I would say to create create literally boundaries for yourself, or time block. It's like we might, set up time blocks for our work day or for our children. Like if you have a kid, you know that this is dinner time, this is bedtime, you have a routine. I think so often, I know for myself at least, I can forget to have that same type of reverence for the fact that my soul needs a little routine as well. So creating boundaries, just like you would for your kids or a little one around screen time, that's really huge. And even like something I'm on right now that I kind of failed at or I didn't continue it once quarantine started, was I said, okay, I want to shut my social media down by 8 p.m. So like not go on it past 8 p.m. Now, once quarantine hit, I forgot about that rule. That was so I'm really going to start it again tonight, to be present to what's real, to what's important. At the end of our days, we're not going to remember, oh, that one post that had 300 likes and got me 10 new followers, thank God that happened in my life. Like, none of it really matters, like truly. And as much as social media is an incredible tool, like, we can either let it take over, or we can choose to utilize it in a way that does bring us closer together, that does build authentic relationships, that can actually grow our business, bring us more clients, bring us more sales. Like, all of that is possible. What you got to do is just get around the right people in the right environments. If you don't have great connections on social media, so now we're moving into growth and connection in authentic ways on social. my rule of thumb is always show up the way that you want to be treated. Like, treat people the way you want to be treated is like one of the golden rules, but it applies to social media. And like, the more you comment on other people's posts, the more that they're going to see yours and comment back. If you're not getting a lot of likes, let's say you post a photo. So like, quick tip, you post a photo, you're like, man, I got 3 likes. What the heck? All right, I'm sitting here waiting around. You're starting to feel bad. You're starting to like, should I delete this? Should I? Like, was this crazy? Was this bad? Like, was this a bad picture of me? And like, all this self-judgment is like, 1, let it go because it doesn't matter. 2, if you want likes, why don't you go to the people's, go to your friends' timelines, go through your news feed, start liking people's photos. It's like, whatever we're seeking, we get to be the leaders of our life. We get to be the leaders of our business and our presence on social media. And we get to teach people that we want engagement. We get to make comments that are like super real, not just like emojis, right? Nothing wrong with that. But like, you know, there's levels.
Yeah.
There's levels. And if you're looking for, you know, if you're looking for a bigger audience, why don't you like collaborate with people? And what that could look like is literally setting up a little series of Instagram live videos for a week or 2 weeks, or start shouting people out. You know, I bet they'll be also more likely to shout you out. Like, just really creating, like, we are always in control, whether we're just using social media because we have a profile, or whether we're entrepreneurs or business owners. We always have the ability to make it the experience that we want by literally creating the vibe, creating the energy, and taking the actions that we would like to be in experience of as well.
Wow. I love that. I absolutely love that. That makes perfect sense to, you know, give the experience that you want to get back on social, you know. Yeah, I'm sure that's gonna really connect with some people. But yeah, dope advice. Thank you for sharing that. So let's talk a little bit about the pandemic, right? COVID-19 is here. How have you personally been coping with it? And what tools have you been using just to stay grounded in it, if you are staying grounded in it?
Yeah. Well, I'll be honest. It's been, the way I've been describing it is like, I've been riding the waves. So what I mean by that is, some days I'll wake up and feel super inspired and like, I'm going to do my little morning routine and then I'm going to get some fresh air in my neighborhood. Then I'm going to get to work. I'll be inspired to take action. I'll feel good. I'll feel hopeful and optimistic. And then other days I wake up slow and don't necessarily have a reason for it. Like, nothing has technically changed from the day before. But from an energy level, and from that point of view, I just won't feel as motivated. And like, I'll want to be like, you know, taking a nap or 2 throughout the day.
Yeah.
And it's been tough to be with, because I think when you have the tools that we speak of, like, let's say you've been in, you know, the personal growth game, mindfulness, and you have the tools prior to the pandemic, it's like, oh, we're set.
Yeah.
We're good. Just utilize the tools. When in reality, like, we're also human.
Yeah.
We're also, I think, in a collective grief process right now. And whether you're grieving the loss of a loved one, the loss of a job, an income, or just the loss of normalcy, like, we're all experiencing it. And I think prior to this, we experienced that, though we're never alone in stuff. Like, when you go through stuff in life, you know, there's other people going through it too.
Yeah.
But it's usually like, it's like your experience. You're going through heartbreak. You're going through loss. You're going through financial hardship. We're literally all in it.
Yeah.
Right now. So from my experience, it's definitely been waves of like ups and downs. But what's been the most supportive for me, and I had this revelation this weekend, is that when I'm being called to rest and like on those slower days, a lot of times in the past, my rest or my like in between work and motivation and, you know, working out and all that stuff that like produces for me,
Mm-hmm.
I'll usually like plan my life or like vision my next moves, or, you know, do a branding session for myself, or like get creative and write posts, but I'm not actually resting.
Mm-hmm.
And what's been present for me is like actually doing nothing, or like actually being present with a morning routine, even if I just read 10 pages of a book, like knowing that like I ain't got nowhere to go, I ain't got nowhere to be, I have to be here. And so it's really invited me to be present and to not judge myself for like worthiness attached to productivity.
Yeah.
And like, and so right now that's what I've been in. It's just like, all right, cool. Let me just settle here.
Yeah.
Like settle in, see what comes up, take care of my business, connect with amazing people, and like, you know, and share as much as I can if I feel called.
So, yeah, I think your process is similar to other people's, you know, being like, okay, I got time, I should be doing something, but I feel tired as fuck. Like, I don't want to do anything. But like, I think especially people who are in the work mode all the time, then you're home and you're just like, what, this is not my reality anymore. I don't like, there's no work. What do I do? Right. And then you get caught up in the stories because your body and your brain and everything else is used to just doing that routine. So yeah, I think it's thank you for sharing that. I think it's important that people recognize that if you're tired or mentally drained or physically drained or whatever the case is, like, you get to take care of yourself. We get to take care of ourselves in this, you know, it's a pandemic. You know, you get to do that. You get to show up how you need to show up. And I think that's you have to distinguish, you know, when you're just procrastinating and not wanting to do shit versus like, okay, I have this to do, but I can create a time and space for it. And if I'm tired, then I can create a time and space for that. So there's space for everything, you know what I mean? And people think, oh, because I saw a video the other day and it's like things that I want to be doing versus things that I'm actually doing. And it was like, the things that he was actually doing was like lying around and like smoking weed and like, but the things I'm supposed to be doing was like some other productive work. And it's like, whatever's true for you, you get to just show up that way. You know what I mean? Like, it's okay. So that was, thank you for sharing your process on that.
Yeah.
What do you feel like you've learned about yourself the most being in this pandemic? What has COVID-19 taught you?
Yeah, what is COVID? There are so many lessons. That's a great question.
Like, one stands out to you the most?
I think I would say that the biggest lesson, and not that I wasn't aware of this before, but it's like, yo, this is real.
Mm-hmm.
Is that we're all guests here.
Yeah.
On planet Earth. We are guests.
Mm-hmm.
And this world and this earth can carry on without us and can kick us off. Mm-hmm. Without us, can put us into lockdown. Like, this is something I could have never imagined. Like, I knew that natural disaster was possible. I knew economic recession. I knew war was a possibility. But I didn't even know that we could go down, that like businesses could shut down and I would have to stay in my home. Like, this is like mind-blowing to me. And though I'm grateful that I'm able to be here, and as opposed to saying I'm stuck at home, I choose to say I'm safe at home.
Mm.
And at the same time, this is like such a great calling from Mother Earth that we're not promised anything.
Yeah.
And we have to look out for one another. We have to look out for our planet. I believe that this is the greatest opportunity we've had as a collective to come inside and heal
Yeah.
our homes, heal our relationships with others, heal our relationships with ourselves. Like, this is like some next level awakening.
Yeah.
And I think that the biggest lesson is that the healing isn't in the doing, it's in the being.
Wow.
It's in nurturing other people, it's in nurturing ourselves, our homes, and really looking out for one another, because as a human race, you know, none of us are immune to or safe from this thing.
Yeah.
It's like the boogeyman out there. It's like,
Yeah.
like everyone's looking around like, yo, is it coming? But
coming for me.
it's like I come home, I'm like afraid of these invisible germs that I may or may not have walked in.
Right?
Like, it's just like crazy.
That's
And
it is a trip.
it's a whole mental game. And at the end of the day, like, nobody, it doesn't matter how much money you have, it doesn't matter how little money you have, it doesn't matter what color your skin is or what part of the world you're from.
Mm-hmm.
We are all, you know, receptive of this and can be affected by it, and we all are affected by it, because even if you have all the money in the bank,
yeah,
like, you probably laid off, if you're a CEO, like, you may have had to lay off however many thousands of people, or, you know, the place that you get your favorite food, like, everybody has had to sit their ass down. And I think the biggest lesson comes down to, one, Mother Earth is taking care of us, so we need to take care of her.
Mm-hmm.
Two, we need to look out for our brothers and sisters. We all come from the same place, and God knows what it is. It's the unknown. But it's reminding us of our humanity.
Yeah.
And I just think it's such a huge lesson.
Yeah. Okay, Lou, just dropped all the gems. Just dropped them all over, like sprinkles. Thank you.
No, thanks for the opportunity, because I think even just like, I commend you for bringing this series to the table too, and having these conversations, because it is therapeutic to talk about it and to hear others talk about it. Like, I've been listening to podcasts daily that have some type of insight into how we can come out of this thing and how we can be with it. So thank you.
No, you're welcome. It wasn't all me. I felt called to do it because, you know, I had my resistance towards it. But yeah, I feel like, you know, there's different people on different levels of like consciousness and awareness. And I feel like, if me personally, I feel like I do have a lot of tools and knowledge and wisdom to offer with being in this time. And as I said, I'm friends with you and a lot of dope ass people that I know are, you know, that have medicine on their hearts that can like offer to the people. And I just felt really called to do this. I'm like, let's discuss this, you know, let's discuss how we can get through this, how we can connect, how we can inspire each other and hope. And because we're all going through it. So this felt like it was in alignment and right for the times. So thank you again for being my first guest. This is dope. I appreciate this conversation so much. And it makes sense now more so than ever why I'm doing it. So thank you. All right. Real quick, I want to talk about your Spotify playlist, right? Right? Because you know what you do with that. Soul Speak. What inspired that? And I think now it's really serving everyone. Like, I will admit, I'm Apple Music. I've requested that from you. I'm like, here's my Apple Music list, because I'm an Apple Music subscriber, just like what I was before Spotify came along. But I know Spotify is free, so I don't listen to it as much. But I've been hearing reviews all over the gram on about your Spotify playlist. So tell me about that. Tell me what it is, and tell me what inspired you to do it.
Oh my God, Soul Speaks. So it's called Soul Speaks. Thank you so much. I get like legit. I just got like so amped. I'm like, yo, Spotify. Because the thing is like, what's so cool. I'm so grateful that I listened to the call to create this, because it's not even me. Like, I don't feel like it's mine. I'm just the channel or the person, the vehicle to put it together. And I think there's a beautiful lesson in something as simple as creating a playlist. It's not like I invented the playlist, or I'm the inventor of Spotify. Like, there's so many playlists out there. But what what I did, where it came from, was I love music. Avid music fan. I know you and I connect on that.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to like legit, I have the artist.
Yeah, Miguel. Hope you see
So,
this. What's up, Miguel?
put me on. Okay.
Right. You gotta rep. You've been repping, so.
Here. So yeah, so I will often, I love music, right? So when I go on Instagram stories, the music feature is one of my favorites. So I'll put me songs behind a lot of my stories.
Mm-hmm.
Even when I'm just like walking down the street, I'll like do a video and I'll have a song behind it. And so many times people would message me, what song is this? Or who's the artist or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And it came to me, I was like, what if I put together a playlist for people of like these songs that I put up on my stories?
Yeah.
And I took a poll on my Instagram and I was like, hey, if I did this, would you guys be down? Would you be interested? Like, you want me to just share with you a new artist every Monday, or do you want me to create a playlist? People were like, playlist. So I did it. I promoted it all by just going on my stories. Like, that's it.
Yeah.
And I put the link in my bio and people started following it. And when they enjoyed it, they'll start to, give it a shout out. So the name came actually while I was still in corporate, probably about 2 years ago. I actually thought of doing this, but I'm glad that I forgot about it, because it came through and came at the perfect time. But Soul Speak, the meaning behind it is that there's no genre attached to the playlist. There's no it has to be hip hop or rock or whatever. It's literally any type of song, instrumental, beat, whatever it is, that is like a vibe shifter or an activator.
Okay.
So I literally listen when I go in to shift the playlist around and update it. Like, I update it like every other week. What I'll do is I'll just listen. I'll just ask, okay, what's the vibe of the collective right now? What do we need? If it's like anger, like I'm like, okay, let me go in with some like hard rap or like some songs that are like talking about the thing, just I have a wide vocabulary and spectrum in music. So I'll put on anything from like, I do tend to keep it on like Afro beats, hip hop, R&B, soul music, but it will also be like
reggae.
Reggae, Native American like chanting, to like meditation music, to acoustic. Like, it'll just be like a mixture of solid music, and I'm so grateful that people enjoy it.
Yeah, man. It's like you're the DJ that just puts out some good shit every 2 weeks and people like dig that. So yeah, and it's a good time. It's a good time I think music is medicine, and it's a dope time to have that whole playlist going so people can just vibe and not be all in their shit all the time, So yeah, so I'm glad you created that list. I have listened to your list in the past. It is dope. It's like very eclectic, and I dig it. I'm still waiting for you to put it on Apple Music. When you do, I'm gonna promote the shit out of it.
You're my first subscriber.
Right? I'm like, for the Apple people, I'm just saying.
Maybe I'll put the playlist on. Now that you have to shout out.
Ooh, come on now. Hook us up. The Apple people, we need the love too. You know what I'm saying? But Spotify is free. I'm sure you can just go over there, check it out. All right, so we're moving on to the segment I like to call Vibing with Peta. And in the original format, it's just a separate message from me. But I feel like the Times is calling for something different, where I'm going to ask you a series of questions and we just vibe out and you just go off the top of the dome, whatever comes up. Cool? Ready?
I'm ready.
It is, it's about 11 questions. They're quick though, so.
Okay, so I got to answer quick.
Yeah, so whatever just comes, you just go.
Rattle it off.
Right? Okay. So they're kind of like quarantine related, so lockdown related, because that's what we're in, so. Let's roll. You ready?
Yep.
All right. So name a significant figure, whether living or dead, that you would like to meet or would like to have met.
Harriet Tubman.
And why?
I just think her courage, her grace and her commitment to supporting, saving, and like freeing her brothers and sisters was absolutely legendary.
Awesome. Cool. All right. So moving on with people. So if you had to choose a celebrity that you could be stuck in quarantine with, who would it be? Or a person? You know, give a shout out to a little boo somewhere, somebody. Yeah. Boo you.
I ain't got no boo right now, and I don't know. Might be a minute before that happens.
All in it for the sake of folks. We all in it. But like, who
I know.
in your fantasy world would you like to be stuck in quarantine with?
I wouldn't be mad at this.
That's awesome.
He would provide the tunes. He would. I mean, no, I'm kidding.
Right?
I'm not like actually serious.
I mean, that's a pretty damn good choice there. For sure.
That's a good choice.
Not losing in that choice. I'd hope not. All right, your favorite quarantine snack right now?
Peanut butter pretzels.
Okay.
And mango.
Okay.
But I can only have so many, you gotta wait till you go to the grocery store again.
Right. Okay. Good choices. All right. Favorite book, podcast, music / or artist, and series you're binging to right now. If all apply, if they don't, then leave them out.
Okay. Book. Where is it? It's called. I'm gonna show you. So the book is called. Hold on. All right. So favorite book right now, The 4 Spiritual Laws of Prosperity.
Okay.
It's by Edwin Gaines. And I'm not that far along, but I love it. Every time I read it, I feel enlightened, I feel fulfilled, I feel inspired, and it's amazing.
Awesome.
So 4 Spiritual Laws of Prosperity. What's the next one?
Podcast.
Favorite podcast. My favorite podcast right now is by Jasmine Star.
I love Jasmine.
She's amazing. She also is a social media and business strategist. So she's been a huge inspiration to me, and I love listening to her podcast. Music.
Favorite music
or
musical artist you're rocking right now?
Okay, so my favorite artist right now, I would say, is Burna Boy.
Ooh. Where you at? No, you love you some reggae, yes.
I love some reggae, some Afrobeat. He's sick. He was on Beyonce's album, The Gift, which was the Lion King album.
All right.
When I first discovered him, but so many of his songs are really, really dope.
Nice.
And then so I just got Netflix. Like,
congrats.
It's a big deal. It's a big deal. I used to have it and I wasn't watching it, so I got rid of it. But I did just watch Love is Blind. And it was fascinating to me. Yeah. It was like a fun social experiment, lighthearted. I could get lost in it and kind of forget what's going on around me. So Love is Blind was the one.
Yes, I agree. I do like that show. That was a great experiment for people want to find love.
It was brilliant. It was interesting.
Netflix gets that. I just heard that it was made like a few years ago. I just heard that recently. I was like, really? Like, that's cool. I don't know why they waited that long to put it on Netflix, but yeah, that's definitely a dope show. All right. Favorite hobby or new hobby that you're practicing right now in quarantine?
TikTok.
Hey, I seen your TikTok game. Get it. Yes. All of that. Yes. Awesome. All right. If you had to choose between one choice, social media or music, you get one choice for the rest of your life. What would you pick?
Oh, music.
Okay. No social media. All right. Cool.
I think, and that's a funny choice because obviously my career is social and I love social, but music is a gift from the gods, I think. Like,
yeah,
I can't imagine, you know, even before technology, music was around, and it
Yeah.
is an activator, it's medicine, it's language. And I'm a dancer too, so like
Yeah.
it's a part of who I am.
Right. I
Yeah.
can't imagine you not dancing for the rest of your life. I mean, you
Yeah.
probably get out in your head. You could make a beat like Tyga did. What is it? I'm in the home board. I'm in the house board. House board.
Him? I didn't know that was Tyga.
It was. I've only seen the video from Tyga. I just saw him making it like just straight up beat on the table on his counter. So it's his voice. So I'm assuming he originally made the song.
Yeah,
But
you're
yeah,
right.
you can make up some shit, and call it music or that.
I would definitely be dancing in my head.
All right, so music. What do you miss about your everyday routine, if there's anything that you miss
Mm.
being in quarantine?
I would say because I work from home, it's not like drastically different, though it is very different.
Mm-hmm.
I would say just going to the gym
Mm-hmm.
and like, because it's like social interaction, it was inspiration, it was movement, it broke up my day, even if I was working from home.
Yeah.
So yeah, just going to the gym and or seeing like my friends and family.
All right, gotcha. Last person you video chatted with besides me.
Um, who was it yesterday? Oh no, today. It was um, Katie, Monique, and Christy. We have like
That's
yeah, you know those peeps. We've had a little mastermind for the past like 2.5 years. Every few weeks we get on a call. Yeah, that's it.
nice, nice. And though they're all dope peeps, very special to me. So. Last kind thing you did for someone, including yourself. You count.
I was like, this shouldn't be hard.
They're interesting questions you get to ask yourself, right?
Yeah. No, that's so good. What was the last kind thing? I think actually just today while I was on a walk this morning, so anytime I see somebody in the street, then I'm sure it's happening for everybody. It's like we're like walking and then we go skirt and we like walk away from each other and it's like it's weird because it feels rude.
Yeah.
I think it doesn't mean we can't say hi, we can't smile, we can't make eye contact because I was feeling myself almost want to do that, like not like just like avoid them. And instead what I've been doing is like looking at them, making sure to make eye contact, smile, or just say like give them a little, remind them that even though we're doing these like socially awkward things that we may not do, letting them know like, hey, even though we're out here, we're still not alone. I see you.
We still connect.
Yeah.
On a human level. Awesome. All right, last few. What social media page are you trolling or stalking right now? Who are you trolling and stalking on social media?
Let me look.
Ooh. You gotta have one page you're obsessed with somewhere.
What's that?
Yeah, the social media strategist. Who is she checking out? That's what we want.
Okay, two people that are in my most recent search. One is Jasmine Star, so another social media strategist. I just love her content. I think she's super creative and really brilliant in the business strategist world.
Definitely. Agreed.
Yes, I love following Jasmine Star. And then the second one is one of my dear friends, Brandon Collinsworth, who actually I went to Peru a few months ago on a big retreat. Mm-hmm. He's the founder of that retreat, and he just started a 30-day challenge called Warrior 30. So each day where we are practicing like 5 pillars, mindset, movement, meditation, mastery, and acts of love. So like some type of kind thing for somebody else. So anyway, today is day 2. You can start at any time if anyone's listening and is down. But it's called Warrior 30, and the retreat I went on is called Warrior Retreat. So just stalked him this morning so I could keep up on day 2. But both 2 amazing people, incredible leaders. One I don't know personally, another one I do, but definitely would say follow Jasmine Starr and Brandon Collinsworth.
Cool.
That's who I stalked.
Yes, got it. Thank you for sharing your stalking ways. That's vital to know. Last question. If you had one message for the world, what would it be?
I would say just hang in there. Hang in there. Know that all things are temporary, all emotions, all realities, and no matter how heavy it can feel, just keep moving. Because one step at a time, one activity at a time, one conversation at a time, one walk at a time is going to be the thing that catalyzes us forward. And something that my dad shared with me when I was younger that has always stuck with me is activity breeds success. And in any moment that I've ever felt stuck or stagnant in life or not known what to do, just one little small action relieves that tension of feeling stuck and gets me into motion, gets me into focused on what's in front of me than the fear and the weight of what could happen, what did happen. And just hang on, just keep moving, know that this too shall pass.
Yes. I felt that one. Thank you. Yes, yes, and yes. Awesome. Lou, it was great vibing with you, man. Like this is dope. I appreciate you being a part of this. I appreciate the conversation. You just sharing your medicine and your message for the people and your light. Go check out Lou Madden's social media page. Your social media page for me is always inspiring because you just come with heart like all day, every day. And it's awesome. Like you do social with soul, like you're about it. So but you do go, like I've known you as Lou. Like I met you as Lou. So when people call you Laura, I'm like, who? Who? Oh, Lou. You mean Lou. Okay.
It's so fun.
Yeah. So I'll be getting confused when people call you Laura because I'm like, what? Lou? Okay. Got it. So yeah, but you're on your social, you go by Laura Madden as well. And Lou is also a part of your AKA.
Yeah. So yeah, my username is Lou, Lu_Madden, Madden. My full name is Laura, but it was just my nickname growing up in my family. And then I think my close friends caught on, and then I made it my username, and now it's like the homies. Like I love when people call me Lou because it's like a tight thing. It's like, oh, you get me.
Right.
Like we're in there. Yeah. So, but yeah, call me Lou, call me Laura. Whoever views this or watches this or listens to it, feel free to come connect, send me a message, and we'll
yeah. And you're on all the socials, Facebook, Instagram
and Facebook, and TikTok. We got one video.
Go check her out on TikTok. Killing that. You're killing that all day. I love it.
It's fun.
That's awesome. But yes, thank you for this again. This was dope. I appreciated just having you in your presence. Thank you.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you for having me. Like, I'm so grateful for this conversation. I'm so grateful to be connected with you. And thank you for, again, standing forward, sharing your message, and giving all of us this opportunity to friggin' rise above, raise the vibe.
Yeah, that's why it's a vibe. That's why it's called Vibes. All right, Lou, thank you. I love you, girl.
I freaking love you so much. This was so fun.
It was fun. And we hopefully will do it again soon.
I mean, I'm always down. Like, this was like hella fun. I'm like, yo, I want to do this more.
Yes.
And like a part of me, like, it's weird because I don't like talking that much, but I do. Like, I talk a lot sometimes, and I'm like, oh no, I'm talking too much. And then I get in my head, and like, anyway, my point is that I felt like you had a really great, like, the way you interview and the way you ask questions and just like keep it super, just like natural and flowy was like made me feel like so comfortable too. So thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. You're the homie. It's like vibing with the homie. Like, we can't be together. So this is how we do. Hey,
Vibing with
hey,
the home.
hey. Yeah. Yeah.
You should
What you
like,
said.
yeah.
Right. You know what's up, Lou. You know what's up. But yes, the people who enjoy this, thank you again. Appreciate you always.
Always.